Good morning. Boy, do I need this coffee. It is too hot to drink yet. So, it's Wednesday, which means we are going to be planning a brand new book. In the week that I have finished my other book, which was in the last vlog, I've not yet... Hang on. Can you hear a helicopter? Let me close the door. Okay. Fingers crossed. That's a little bit better. In the week since I've finished my last book, I have still not gotten used to the idea that I'm starting a brand new book. My 19th book. I feel like my mind's a little bit blown and it's not sunk in properly yet, but it is time. So whether I'm ready or not, we're just gonna do it. But today, you know I've got more life admin to do, like... Of course I do. I do have an appointment later on. I do have to get some admin bits done, which is just send in a newsletter and... What else have I got to do? Maybe check some stats? I can't remember. I've got a to-do list. I planned it all last week. I just don't remember and I don't have it in front of me. And I've already gotten up once. I don't need to go and get the to-do list. Anyway. There's some admin bits that I want to get done, and the planning a book process takes quite a while. And it's normally like spans days and days and days because I have to let things sit and I ask questions that I have to sort of dive deeper into. Why is the character like this? Like, what's their background? Like, what's the conflict of the story? And is that enough? Do we have to amp it up more? We normally have to amp it up more. My tendency is to be really nice and just to be like, oh, this is just really easy. You just saw each other across the street and you instantly fell in love. And oh, that's not entertaining. So yeah, I have to amp up the conflict. So there's quite a bit that goes into planning. First of all, I start off in my notebook. Then I have a document that I sort of then run through. I'm a planner. Oh, did you just hear my tummy rumbling? I'm sorry. I'm a planner. So I ask myself all of this stuff about the character. I ask myself all of this stuff about the story and the trope and the conflict and the resolution, and I know from start to finish what is going to happen. And there's sometimes when a new scene will pop in, like as I'm writing, because I write start to finish. Sometimes a new scene appears and I'm like, I need to sort of divert over here slightly, but it's when it feels like the story's missing something and I hadn't caught that in the plan that I was like, actually I need more of this, or I need to dive into this more, or something as you're writing just pops up and you're like, that's really good, I need to do more with that. That's like 1 or 2 scenes every other book, like it's not all the time. So I plan quite a bit and it will take me a good few days. Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks to sort out. With this book, I did not want to write it. I set up the whole series plan and I knew what was happening in this series. I've got 5 books already written. This is the 6th one and this is going to be the last book. Can you hear the helicopter again? Go away. Just have a coffee break in between. It's still really hot. And my tummy's rumbling. I just, honestly. Okay. Where was I? So when I started planning this series, I knew that I had a group of 6 friends that would each have a story and a love interest in that. 7 friends? 8 friends? I don't know, it gets complicated and I can't go into the reasons it gets complicated in case I spoil anything. So there's a bunch of friends, a number we cannot figure out unless I count them, and I'm not counting again because last time I counted wrong. Anyway, there's a bunch of friends, they get their own stories and I knew what each of their stories was. I'd had ideas and these scenes that had popped up in my head and the tropes. It was all planned apart from this one. I had no idea what to write for this character. I just knew that for this series I wanted 6 books. My other 2 series are 5 books each. I wanted 6 books in this series. And I knew that I wanted her... Do I tell you this? I'm not sure. We'll see whether I edit it out, and I've realised that this is a big spoiler and I can't actually divulge this information. I knew that I wanted her linked to somebody in the next series that I'm going to write. I've already got that series not planned out, but a lot. The story's already bubbling, a bit like I had with this one. So I knew that I wanted her linked with that. So she's obviously got this big friendship group, but she's also got this other link and like a friend, and I needed to figure that out. And I didn't know what her story was. I didn't know who she ended up with. I didn't know what tropes the book should be. I knew nothing, and I didn't want to write it, and I could have very easily cut it out if it wasn't purely for the fact that I wanted to link it to this next series. So I started the series, I put this character in, completely not knowing what to do with her. Bless her. And then it clicked. I can't remember when it clicked, probably this year, at the start of this year at some point, so quite late, but it clicked and I knew what I wanted to do with her, and it is really blooming delicious, if I say so myself. I've got to tell you the tropes, but I think I'm going to tell you the tropes later on, because right now I've got to have a cup of coffee. It's still boiling hot, it's got to cool down, and I've got to do my admin bit. So let's go and send that newsletter, let's go and figure out what other admin bits I need to do, and then let's start planning. Come with me. done with my admin bits, and I have a fresh cup of coffee, a lot smaller than that first one, and I have my breakfast. I don't have long, I'll be going soon for my nail appointment. I have one nail appointment today and then one tomorrow, which is really annoying because it's halfway through the day now. But I've done my admin bits, which is great. I realised what I needed to do was, it is the 1st of October, so I needed to do my monthly to-do list. I just sort of do a little brief overview of what I want to achieve in the month. And I also did my quarterly review just to look back on the last quarter, what I achieved, what I didn't achieve, some of the stats, and what I'm focusing on for this next quarter. So I've done all that, I've sent my newsletter, and I am now ready to plan. I don't feel like I'm mentally ready to plan. This is the issue. So I thought I would just sit with my notebook, because that is what I would be doing first of all, my notebook stuff, just to start slowly getting ready before I have to leave for my appointment. Honestly, I feel like insomnia last night has kicked my butt and I'm not feeling overly energetic. Hence the humongous mug of coffee this morning that went down far too quickly. And if you're wondering who the hell is this woman and what on earth is she doing, hi, I am Marie and I am a steamy romance author. I write under the pen name Marie Harper Wright, and I'm planning a new book. You can go back and watch my last vlog where I finished my last book, but now I've got to plan a new one, and I don't think I'm ready yet. I am ready yet. I've been thinking about this book for quite a while, like all of my books simmer for probably over a year, so I am more than ready to start planning this book. It just feels so soon. Anyway, I'm going to have to go over it. So, what is my planning process? I can't remember. I'm in a sarcastic mood today. Can you tell? What do I need to be doing? My planning process. Let's get comfy here. And come a little bit closer. Come on. I snuggle up with Mickey Pumpkin. My planning process. First of all, it's getting stuff down in a notebook and figuring out what the story is really about. So obviously we have the characters, we have the tropes, we have the love that simmers, we have the conflict that keeps them apart, and then we have the resolution where they get there happily ever after. But what's the story really about? I try to sort of dive a little bit deeper and figure some of those things out. And in recent books, I've tried to have them mean a little bit more. And it might not necessarily be overly obvious that that's what, that there's a meaning of life. I'm not writing anything that's going to win a award or, it's romance. Like, we're here for the plot and we're here for the steam. I like the steam. Anyway, but I have enjoyed figuring out what connects me to these tropes. Like, why do I love this trope? Why do I want to write about these people getting together in this way? And what does that really say? Like, what is the deeper meaning here? It's not just because I love, for example, it's not just because I love a false proximity. It's not just because I love the one bed or the brother's best friend. That's how the story is presented, but actually the crux of the story and the meaning and the why I care so much is because they're going through this transition, they're going through this change and this arc, and I'm connecting with that. Even if I don't realise it when I read it, I'm connecting to the deeper meaning of the story. So I'm just trying to explore that a little bit more in this initial planning stage so that this is at the forefront of the story. And I have to figure that out. I have to figure out what is this that I love. So, for some context, this book that I didn't want to write because I had no idea what it would be about, and then one day it just clicked what this was about. It is a matchmaking book. She matchmakes for her friend's brother who needs to have a date for an event. Details TBC. And he needs a date, and she is a serial dater, and she has done it all. Online dating, blind dates, speed dating, like she's done everything, and she has got the horror stories. So she is known as the serial dater, and he comes to her, and for a moment she thinks he is asking her to be the date to this event. So she agrees, and then it becomes clear to her that she got this wrong. And he wasn't asking her on the date, he was asking her for help to find the date. And now that crushes her because she's just realised, actually, I do actually really fancy him. And she is now crushed, but has to commit to matchmaking and to seeing him on all of these dates when she's like, hello, I'm here. I would have been the date. Do you not see me? Tragic. And I'm really excited about all of this, but I've got to figure out first. It's more than the dating. It's more than the you didn't see. Oh, maybe it's that you didn't see me. Oh, okay. Can you see? There's a deeper meaning here, and we've got to figure it out together. I mean, if you could just tell me in the future what it is, that would be great. But we're going to figure it out together. I think it's that you didn't see me. I can already feel it in my heart. Like, oh, okay, that's emotional. She was there, plain sight, and he did not even consider her. He didn't see her. Oh, okay. Let's do some proper planning and see if that is what it is. I think that's what it is. It has been a couple of hours since I saw you. I went and got gel off of my nails taken off, and that took an hour. And I've just been sitting and sort of journaling in my planning process, answering questions, diving deeper into what connected me to the story, what it really means, and my what if statement. So there's a few things that have inspired my planning. It's a bit of a hybrid between a few different things, and one of them is Romancing the Beat by Gwen Hayes, and also some courses that I've taken over the years, and like podcasts and different books, like little snippets of different books, and even posts from people on social media, and when I've gone to author conferences and things like that. And in more recent books, it's been Story Genius by Lisa Cron. So this initial stage is actually prompted and inspired by her book. That's about diving deeper into what does this actual story mean. And I think it's that connecting of, so I left you off with me thinking, oh, hang on, this is about being overlooked and not seen when you're literally right in front of somebody. That had a really emotional tug on it, and I think I've narrowed it down into why that is so important in this story and why it resonated with me in that moment. And it's just because relationships, it's so easy to become complacent in a relationship. It's so easy in this day and age, in everything, in relationships and in even materialistic things and all of the things that we live our life. It is so easy in this day and age to want something new, something better, something bigger, something different. And that is, I think, the crux of this story, is that actually sometimes the best thing is sitting right there without us realising, and we haven't opened our eyes to it. And so from then on, I've been drafting my what if, which has taken me a little bit of time because it seemed like it should be from the male POV as I was writing it. So I spent a lot of time writing the what if. So it's all about, what is this actual book about, like in a short sentence or a couple of sentences. And I was writing it all from his POV. I then had my little break, and that's sometimes a good thing to be able to do, is step away almost and then come back. But all the time I am thinking about it, and it's sort of simmering, and I'm able to figure out my thought process behind it. And basically I've rewritten the whole what if, and I've drafted some more what ifs in her point of view, because actually I think she's the main character. So Lisa Cron's plan is very much, you might have dual POV, which all of my books do, but there is one main character, even if it's just by a little smidge. There is one main character. They will both have their character arcs, and they will both go on a journey of discovery and change because they have to. But there is one person that is the lead character. When I was writing the original what if statements, that seemed very much like he was the main character. And then I've just realised, as I've been going through and thinking and letting things digest, he isn't. It's her. And she's the one that has the more emotional character arc. She's the one that's been overlooked. She's got that emotional, that's where that emotional tug came from when I was originally, just a moment ago, thinking about it. It's her that's been overlooked and gone, I need you to find me somebody just like you. Not you though, but just like you. Something better, something, that's how she's going to see it. So I've drafted it, a new what if statement in her POV, and it is sitting much better with me. So now I know the next bit was, what's the main character? Well, I already know. It is her. So things are coming fast, thick and fast. So the next sort of section of planning, now that I've got my what if statement, and it's very much about the irony of giving up on dating and then being asked to find somebody for somebody else. Someone that you've just realised you have a huge crush on, and who they've just overlooked you as the date and gone, can you find me somebody? And basically on his list of must-haves, or, you know, how a relationship would look like, that's what they're going to develop. That it's going to be right in front of him and right in front of her. They just don't see it and they overlook it until it's too late. We've still got to work that bit out. Is it too late? Who knows? Maybe this will be a tragedy and not a romance. Who knows? No, I do know. It's definitely going to be a romance. So the next bit that I'll be working on, probably this evening, probably tomorrow, things have to sort of sit and let simmer a little bit, is who the main protagonist is. Check, already got that. It's the lady. But who are they before the book begins? And the great thing is, it's because she's the main character, I know a lot about her already because she has been in the series since day one. So I already know a lot about her. There's already a lot of information in my books I've already written that fits perfectly with this. Hello, serial data, that has all the disastrous dating mishaps happen to her, I get to come up with loads of disastrous ideas that she's been through that cements who she is as a person before this book begins. And then we've got to come up with a goal for her misbelief, which will be very much tied into her whole dating history and how messy and chaotic it's been. And then thinking about the first scene and what that could look like, where the story would need to really start. So yeah, I think we're going to make quite good progress in the short space of time. It's funny when you're planning, it can feel almost like you're putting together a jigsaw puzzle without the box and the picture on it. And fun fact, I actually did used to do those jigsaw puzzles. They were like back to front jigsaw puzzles, and the picture on the box wasn't the picture that you were creating. And they were great. But it is like that. It feels like when something, it feels like it fits together. When something's right, it feels like it's slotting into place, and you're grabbing pieces out of thin air and you're laying them down and seeing what is the picture that I am creating. And I can feel already things are slotted into place and things are appearing that I hadn't thought about, but it's the nuances that is going to make this delicious. And this is the real fun bit of planning, because it's blank slate. Anything can happen. I've just got to piece it together and figure out what is actually happening and what direction this story is going in. And sometimes it can feel like the story just explodes and runs away on its own. And I think that's probably what's going to happen here. The story is going to present itself to me, and we're just going to snowball, and we're going to have to roll with it. We're going to have to go, okay, that's the story. We're just going to go with it. I think it's going to happen quite quickly. It's so fun. I hope you find this fun. I hope you don't think this is the most boring process ever. So yeah, we've got a lot left of planning to do, but we'll get through it. And I'm excited. I don't feel apprehensive now, which is great. This is progress. In a couple of hours, I'm going to probably do some planning off camera. I'll join you in a moment for tomorrow to get back onto it as well and have another cozy day planning and get my nails sorted out, which will be nice because they feel horrible. Get some of this sorted and out of my head and out of thin air. It's going to be good. I'll see you in a minute. Hello, it's nice to see you again. I have spent the morning doing some planning and it's going really well, and I am so excited. Things are really clicking into place. I've been working on this morning my main character's misbelief. So that is something that she believes is true, but actually it's a complete lie. And I always start this off, this like one sentence that summarizes what is the lie that she believes about herself. And it always starts with, I am. I've done a little bit of work on that today. There was quite a few. I think it's all going to be tied into her dating history. There was quite a few that sort of come up, but I've summarised all of them into one misbelief, which is I am unlovable as I am. And that is going to be tested throughout the book. And that has got to change to the truth, which is already enough, and the right love will see me for exactly who I am. That's basically what's going to happen throughout the story. We're going to test it. We're going to show how she believes that's to be true and how we're going to change that eventually. I've already got scenes in my head. That's just how I imagine stories. I imagine them almost like films and like little scenes that play out in my head. And I'm like, yes, I love that. That's going in the book. But actually, as I was working through some stuff today, more scenes were popping up, or some of the scenes that I already had were fleshing out a little bit more with, oh, we could have that and that could relate to this misbelief and we can test that here and we can double down on it there. So what I've actually done, and I don't think I've ever done this in any other book that I've planned, I actually opened up one of my documents for this book on the computer and I started writing those down, because although I'm not at the point where I want to plot out the book scene by scene, I equally don't want to forget any of the things that I've thought of. There's probably like 6 or 7 scenes that I've already fleshed out that are in relation to her misbelief and testing that and disproving that and how she can double down on it. So very exciting progress already, and I'm already getting that feeling of that fizzing feeling of I just want to write. I just want this to all be planned and sorted and all the work done so that I can start writing these scenes, because that is just the most delicious part of it. And another thing that I do is, and again, this is all from the Story Genius from Lisa Cron, I figure out where this wound took place. Like, how did it show up? Where did it take root? And I've just drafted a very, very short, very rough scene. I had written a scene in my notepad. I knew it was going to be all dating related, but we have gone back to her teenage years, where she was really excited to go on a little blind date, double date with her friend who set her up with her boyfriend's friend, and she's so excited. It's her first date. She's trying to obviously make it a date and he is not impressed. He's rude. He's not a little bit rude. He's rude. He doesn't want to be there. He's been dragged along. He's not interested in being on this date at all. Typical grunty teenage boy. And they go and watch a film together, and basically he asks her to stop talking and she overhears him saying that her laugh's too loud. But when her friend asks her whether she would go and do a double date again next weekend, she says yes. Honestly, some of these scenes I'm like, no, don't say yes. No. And I'm like, no, you have to say yes, because this is where all the pain stems from. You have to say yes. You have to go through these horrible teenage experiences. I might have had some of these horrible teenage experiences to then make this work. But this is all going to be cemented in a few other scenes. I haven't drafted those, so I don't need to write those out, but I've come up with the idea of what those would be. Like, how is this in her relationship history doubled down on? We've got some disastrous dating scenes and comments that she gets, and being ghosted or being stood up, or oh, bless her, I've even got one instance where a guy that she's on a date with actually goes and chats up the woman next to them and ends up leaving with her. Honestly, I'm breaking my own heart because I'm creating this. I do realise I'm creating this character. She's not. Honestly, she's not a real person. I'm creating this and I'm creating this pain, but oh, bless her. We're going to have to give her a really good happy ending for all this pain that she's been through. Bless her. She's such a romantic that all she wants to do is find love. She loves romance books and she loves romance movies, and she just can't find that in her life. So yeah, I've done all of that sort of background character work. And so now the next thing that I'm going to be working on is, what is that first scene? Like, how do we open this book? And I don't know. I know some things that I want, but it's like, this whole point is, what is the right place that we start the book. And there's 2 scenes that I could possibly choose from. So I'm going to need to do a little bit of digging, a little bit of searching for what the right one is. So it's not clear yet, but it will be clear. And I feel like we're really hitting the ground running here. The first scene, so you have to draft that out. Then it will be the end scene. And that's when I think I'll actually be drafting it, actually writing the scene out. I have no idea how it's going to end. So that's something we need to figure out. I'm going to work on like some subplots, making sure that they're sort of tied all the way through. And then I sort of swap gear a bit. We're probably almost halfway through the planning process, which I don't think's too bad. I was thinking this could potentially take weeks. I don't think this is too bad. We're making good progress here, and I'm very excited for how this is panning out, especially because I seriously had no ideas for what this book would be. And then all of a sudden it just like popped into my head, and I'm loving how it is turning out. But in other exciting news, I am almost done with The Happy Medium. This was a bit of a chunky book, but I'm almost done. I think I've got a couple of chapters left. Oh, and I've really enjoyed this. Not Halloween based, but it does have a ghost in it. So sort of, I'm calling it sort of Halloween vibes because there's a ghost. But honestly, her relationship with the ghost is just so cute. I'm really enjoying it. So I'll probably be finishing that tonight. Oh no, I don't have just 1 chapter left, do I? I've got 2 chapters left. I can't believe I left it on 2 chapters. And then I ordered my book club book for this month, which we went with more spooky Halloween themed book. So I've got Cackle by Rachel Harrison, and I'm very excited to read this. Now, it did say it was a horror, but I think it's a light horror. Like, I don't think it's actually a horror. I'm hoping it's not actually a horror because I don't want to be scared. But also, that doesn't look like a horror. It does say on the back, a little bit scary. I can deal with a little bit scary, or sweet, sinister, and 100% delightful. I can deal with that. I've got images of me doing what Joey in Friends does and putting it in the freezer when you get scared. So we'll see. But I think I'm going to be starting this and taking this on holiday with me as a holiday read. Okay. But I need to get it done. There is also another book on the list which I would quite actually like to read this month as well, and it is called The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I don't have that book yet, but if I get this one finished, I've been trying to find it at a library and I'm struggling to find it at the library. So I might just have to order that one, but we'll see. I've still got a couple of weeks left until the next book club. So I'll see how I get on with this one and then whether I want to read the next one. So yeah, I'll carry on planning then, shall I? Hello, future Marie here. Spoiler alert, this book planning did not go to plan or as quickly as I was thinking it would. So I'm going to end the vlog here, but next time you're going to be coming to Crete with me for some sunshine, a little bit of exploring, and hopefully to finish planning this book and get it ready to write. I'll see you then. Don't forget to subscribe so you can join me too. Happy reading.